Hello, welcome back. Yes, it's design day. We are making stuff. And I'm looking forward to doing this. This should have lots and lots of potential ideas to throw out there. Yeah, it's going to be very interesting. I'm really excited about this particular design that we're going to be doing today around the staff or stave. I'm going to put up a poll, so feel free to take part in that poll. What I will say is that, like everything I do on my channel, I feed off the audience, and the audience is really important to determining how these live streams work, okay? So feel free to take part in that poll. Feel free to share your ideas, grab some food, some drink, turn on your brain, and let us get to work, shall we? Should be an interesting day, really should. In fact, the more I do these, the more I'm inclined to do more of them. Hi, welcome to HowtoRPG. My name is Fred Wheeler, and today I want to talk about designing, creating, making your own staff or staves for a tabletop role-playing game. And I thought it would be really fun to sort of work on that particular area of magic items, the stave or staff, and we're going to actually do a lot. We're going to do as many as we can, and I'm going to make them low level, because one of the things you'll notice is the vast majority of us staffs or staves are high level magic items. They're not low level, so you really can't give them out until much later on without sort of turning your game into a Monty Hall mess. And you can't really give them out because they just don't fit. It's not just about power. Sometimes they just don't make sense for what you're trying to do. And it's always nice to be able to give out magic items that are lower powered. So I'm going to wind things back a bit. I'm going to start very low, and we'll work our way towards the top end of things for today. And I'm going to try to do as many as I can that are low level, because it's easy to make high level magic items. It's not very hard at all. I have a document prepared. I have already started. Sorry, I couldn't help myself. So I have actually already started putting some stuff together. I do this sometimes. So sometimes I just get moving. Like, okay, I can't wait. So I've at least created one. So what I'm going to do here is just put in a little prompt. What are your staff or your stave magic item ideas? And we're going to go with hashtag simple, low level, or common powered. Since that gets people confused if I just say, just give me a staff idea. Simple, low level, or common powered. So this is a good way of getting somebody else to make a magic item for you if you got stuck, if you hadn't figured it out. And you can just basically copy what we've done in the live stream. Anyway, so I'm going to put that up, and I think we are just about ready to go. Yes. Probably another thing I should do before I get started is, like, all of the things I've been putting up are going up onto my Patreon. Now, most of the time you have to pay for those things, okay? But every once in a while I put some stuff up that's free. And it's the new month, it's December, and I thought it would be nice if I put the staves up onto Patreon for free, so you can download it if you're a free member, which means you don't have to pay anything. You can just get it, that might be nice. So I have included that as an option for this month. So it'll probably be near the end of the week when it goes up, but that will go up. That's the main thing, right? Okay, so you put up your ideas. I'm going to work my way through this document, trying to make as many as I possibly can, as quickly as I can. I'm going to get rid of the hat because it's so hot. It's sweltering today. So I just went with a staff of a light, the light cantrip, staff of illumination. I want to change it. I don't want it to be exactly the same as the light spell. The light cantrip. I'm going to extend its range and go 30. I was actually thinking, what about if I just extend it to what a lantern would do? It's basically just a magic item now that's a lantern. And so that was percolating through my mind when I was thinking about this. And I'm just going to check the lantern. I think the lantern, if I recall, is 30 feet, but I'll make sure that that's correct. No, no, it's 60 feet. It's actually quite a long distance. Oh, it's the hooded lantern. It's 30 feet for a hooded lantern. So let's do the hooded lantern rather than the bullseye lantern. Okay? And then we'll go here. So it's a little bit different. It's not exactly the same. It's not going to break the game. I don't feel like it's taking the power of the light cantrip too far, because remember, I think in 5e, common magic items are, you know, cantrips, level 1 spells. And then, of course, if you're playing, you know, other versions of D&D, it won't be exactly the same as that, obviously. There's no scaling so much. There's no scaling in Shadow Dark, which I'm playing a lot of right now. So, yeah. But I will do my very best to try to make it so you can use it in any version of D&D. So I won't be referring to bonus actions. It'll always be an action, or it's just no action. So that you can port it over to any OSR product, any version of D&D, including 5e or 2024 Dungeons and Dragons. What is it? 5.5, or is it 5.245, or is it 5.224, or 6e maybe? Just say it's 6e. There's enough changes to warrant it. So this is what I'm going to do. Okay. So yeah, we'll see how that all goes out. So going through here, now I could do attack spells that are cantrips, but one of the things I realized is I've done that with wands already. And if you were to sit through me doing that, it's really just going to be cutting and pasting from the wand list that I did a little while back. So I don't want to do that. And so for me, the staff is something you hold in your hand, and I want it to have something other than we're doing damage. I'll do one. Okay, I'll do one. And the rest will go on there probably later on at the end of the week off live stream. Okay, so going through here, Blade Ward. I think I ditched Blade Ward just for the sheer complexity of the spell. When a creature makes an attack roll against you before the spell ends, the attacker subtracts 1d4 from the attack. So it's a cantrip. You have to cast it. It's got a 1 minute duration. My general feeling is we could probably do Blade Ward. Does Blade Ward make sense with a staff, though? No, I'm not interested in Lord of the Rings comes to D&D Beyond. That might be more suitable for... Blade Ward feels like it might be more suitable for armor. But then I have in my image, and I think in terms of protection and stuff like that, and there is a sort of and something in my head says there's wizards that have a staff that use the staff to protect themselves. And this might be a fun way of doing that. So we might use Blade Ward, but I don't think I'm going to call it Blade Ward. I'm thinking I'm going to call it something else. And we might just port across that. So this stuff can be wielded to... Okay, so we're going to go here. We'll paste this bit. Wield to wielded to stop incoming attacks. Do I have that right? Hopefully I do. Yes, I do. And attacks for 1 minute. I'm not gonna put concentration for 1 minute. When you use an action, and then take out that. The attacker subtracts 1d4 from the attack roll. That's quite a lot, but it is still an ongoing thing. We've definitely made that attunement because I feel like that's pretty strong. That would still be common, and we just need to give it a name. So I'm going to do that. So that's more of a protection. This staff can be wielded to stop incoming attacks for 1 minute. When you use an action, the attacker subtracts 1d from the attack roll. So that's that. So we just need to change the name to so warding, staff of warding. There we go. And that's our first one. Down and dusted. I had also come up with another idea that I wanted to plug in here. I'm going to do, say, 2 and then come back each time to the chat to see what you guys have come up in terms of ideas, okay? So I'm not going to stay here forever. I was thinking in terms of one of the feats from actually Jesus Christ. And I don't usually do anything that's sort of tailored to being religious in any way. But I am a Christian, so I feel like I'm allowed to do this, and it's not a it's not like trying to take anything away from Jesus Christ. Snake staff. Snake staff. That's what I want to call it. And then I'm going to get rid of this line. Come down, and I'm going to have it transform into a stake. Okay, so you're going to be attuned. So when you hold, when you throw. Copy this. And that's paste. So when you throw this, not hold, when you throw the staff, is that how I want to, no, it's probably not. While holding the staff, you can use an action to throw the staff to the ground and activate it. Activate. Okay. The staff magically transforms into a small snake that you can control for 1 minute before it transforms. Before it reverts to a staff again. I think that's what I wanted to have there. Pretty sure. Okay. While holding the staff, you can use an action to throw the staff to the ground and activate it. The staff magically transforms into a small snake that you can control for 1 minute before it reverts to a staff again. Very, very simple effect. Not going to break your game. And yeah, I suppose they could use it for attacking, but it's not going to be a big snake. It's probably got 1 hit point. So I wouldn't worry too much about that sort of thing. Yeah, I'm sure it'll all be fine. Anyway, so that's that one. Let's see what chat has to say. Oh, it's very quiet today, so I'm going to keep working along. Making more staves, things like that. And yeah, I'll come back to chat again. Hopefully you guys will come up with some ideas. Anyway, so let's do the next lot. And I'm going to pull a lot of stuff from existing spells. So the next one, let's have a look here. Blade Ward we've done. I think that works fine. You might be thinking, well, there's no concentration, it's too strong. Now I thought about that. I had really thought about that, and I was thinking, is it too much? And so I was looking at Shadow Dark, and I was looking at some other stuff. And one of the things I noticed is there are plenty of times where timers are given and there's sort of no focus or concentration required, and I still believe that they are fairly low-level spells. The one that I would say is, Staff of Warding is a pretty powerful ability. The only thing to consider, though, is it's only 1 minute. So it essentially means one battle. You're not going to get any more out of it. And then whether you're playing Dungeons and Dragons or playing Shadow Dark or playing something else, Pathfinder, your battle's only probably going to last about 1 to 3 rounds. So it's not really a big deal. There's no point having that concentration in effect because we want them to have at least a couple of rounds before it no longer works anyway. So yeah, that was just my thought. If your rounds and your battles go much longer than 3 rounds, I feel sorry for you. Anyway, control flames. Now, control flames might be a fun one to do. I'll just grab that one. Control flames, and if I got this in the right place, yes, I have. You instantly expand the flame 5 feet in one direction. I don't like that idea. You instantly extinguish the flames within the cube. I think all of those things probably won't work for me. There's too many things going on. You can cause simple shapes such as vague. I think we'll leave that alone. It's like minor illusion. I think we can do something with that. I might break prestidigitation down a little bit. Dancing lights. We've already got the Staff of Illumination, so I don't think we need to worry about this one, so I'll leave that alone. Next, Druidcraft. Druidcraft was one that I was thinking would be a good place to look, and that is I like the idea of the blooming flower or seed pod opening. I like this. Now, is there an existing staff like that? And there might well be. I was looking through there and trying to find something on it, and I believe if I look at staves, staff, adornment, charmed, fire, next, fate, fire, flowers. Yeah, staff of flowers. So I've got to be careful I don't wind up just reproducing something that's already been done. This has got charges. I don't want to put 10 charges in it. While holding it, you can take the magic action, and from the staff, you cause flowers to sprout from a patch of earth 5 feet from stuff, unless you choose a specific kind of flower. The staff creates multi-scented daisy. The flower is harmless, non-magical, and grows. Okay, so this is not really what I had in mind. So I think we're going to be pretty safe with regard to that one. So I'm going to leave it, even though that's common and there's something that's similar, I think we're going to do something that's a little bit broader. So that one's maybe just a tiny bit it's been stipulated a lot. Like it's really, really narrowed it down. So I'm going to broaden this out a little bit. So we're going to go paste, and I'm going to go Staff of Blooming. And now while holding, no. Okay, so when you bear the staff, I think that's the word I want to use. I had a couple of ways of sort of presenting this, so I'm going to use these sentences that I started. Cut. When bearing the staff, you can use an action to instantly make a flower bloom, a seed pod open, or a leaf bud bloom. So it's not about creating flowers out of nowhere. You have to have something that already exists. You have to have a flower, a seed pod, or a leaf can then bud. So we're only building on that. It's actually really, really basic. Does it require, does it need to have attunement? Probably doesn't need to have attunement. There's a few of these here where I don't think it really needs to have an attunement factor. This is probably one of those times where attunement is unnecessary, and we could take that away. But it is also an ongoing thing. So I'm just going to leave those for now. If you're playing with different systems, you won't even worry about things like attunement, will you? So that is it. That's all it does. It's really, really basic and simple. Okay, so that's one. Let's do another one. Sensory effect. No, I don't want to do the sensory effect. Unless we're actually creating something, I don't want to create illusions. It also falls into the realm of what's the dungeon master having to adjudicate and potentially have arguments with people, and I don't want to create things that will generally try to do that or accidentally do that, so I want to avoid that. Fireplace. So you light or snuff out a candle, torch, or a campfire. Now I think we had something like this. Was it called the deluminator? And I feel like a staff might be fine to incorporate with this a feature where you could snuff it out. Do I need to give it a range? Possibly. When you bear this stuff, you can use an action to instantly make a flower bloom, a seed pod open, or a leaf bud bloom that you can see. So that's our range. You can see it, you can do it. Okay, so next, let's take this part of the spell. Really simple thing. And I'm going to do this one, and then I'm going to do two. I'll do one or two attacking or damage dealing staves that are low level, okay? So put this in. The question is what would you call it? That's the biggest issue. So let's just take that again, copy and paste, copy and paste, and then it's not. Oh, it's a snake of blooming, staff of blooming. Let's try that again. Staff. Whoopsies. Staff of blooming. Don't have any more snakes going on. Cool. And that is a snake of blooming. It's not a snake of blooming. It's something else. It is a staff of. Now, what would I want to call it? If it can light or snuff out a candle, torch, or a campfire, what would be the name? That's the question. I'm not entirely sure. We'll go here. Is this the one? No. When bearing? No. While holding. While holding. Let's take that sentence. Copy that down. Paste. While holding the staff, you can use an action to light or snuff out a candle, lamp, lantern, torch, or campfire. Or campfire that you can see. I don't think that's too powerful. I don't know what to call it though. That's the only hassle. So that's two. If you come up with an idea, people, let me know. Something that lights and snuffs it out. Lights it, snuffs it out. What would that be called? Not sure. And now we're going to go back to chat and see what you guys have come up with. And I will do, after this, I'll do whatever you guys come up with as an idea. Hello there, driving to work right now, just listening. Okay, that's cool. All right, so while you guys are still working and driving to work and doing whatever you need to, I'm going to keep plugging away, making more stuff, okay? And so we're going to do some damage ones, because I know there's a bunch of you who want stuff that's related to damage, and that's fine. I would like to point out that magic items do not need to always be damage dealing, but yeah, that's all good. Let's go here. Am I ready to transfer over? No, I'm not. So I need to go here, and then I believe it is the wand where there was a bunch of different things that we had created that do damage. So all we need to do is to make a slight adjustment, and it's pretty much exactly what we need. So where are we? There's so many documents here. Okay, so that's rings. Items, rings, volume. That's not right. That's boots, not rings. And then that's wands. Here we go. There's the one. That's what I wanted. The wand. Wands. Wand of acid ball. But we want to actually do something else. We'll do that one. Copy and bring that across. And I'll work on that in a second. Paste. And then what else can we do? We can do the, I've already structured these so they work. Oh, yes, we had this one. And then copy that one and bring that across. And then paste. Oops, try that again. And paste. Okay. And I think we're good. All right, so let's bring it over so you guys can see what I've got here, and I'll work through these. Staff of Acid Ball. So you conjure, so we just need to change this to a staff. So while holding this, you can use an action to. So this is copy it and bring this across. It's paste. So while holding this staff, you can use an action to conjure an acidic ball within a range of 60 feet that shoots out from the wand and explodes when it hits one creature or object. The creature must succeed on a DC on a dexterity saving throw or take 1d6 acid damage. So very small effect, not much going on there, and pretty simple. So that's okay. So I need to take out the word wand and I put staff. So that's cool. Next, staff of sparks. I don't know if I call it sparks. I might just call it. Do we have a staff of lightning already that exists in the game? I don't think there is, but I better check, right? I don't think there's anything that does lightning as such. But I'm thinking maybe just electricity would be just fine. Just calling it staff of electricity. There's nothing there that sort of suggests it. Bonus action, utility, charisma. That's a fire one. Staff of fire. Flowers, frost. Concentration, staff of frost, lightning. Okay, so let's do one and call it electricity. Or is it just energy, electricity? Oh, here we go. Staff of thunder and lightning, very rare. So there is something that kind of already exists. So it's quite complicated, does a lot. So instead of doing that and calling it sparks, I'll call it just electricity. Staff of electricity. It is a staff. Okay. While holding. And then cut this. No, copy this. Sorry. Bring this down. And paste. We ought to launch Now when you use an action while wielding the staff, when you use an action while wielding the staff, you can launch a stream of sparks at a creature or object within 120 feet. Okay, got that. Make a ranged spell attack against the target. On a hit, the target takes 1d10 lightning damage. Okay, that's it. So that's electricity and acid. So we've done 2 damage dealing ones. Let's go and start dealing with the less damagey like things. I was really tempted to do something about weather, you know, predicting the weather. I thought that would be kind of fun. It's really low level in terms of an effect, and just breaking that off. So we might just do that and just widen this out a little bit. And I want to give the effect a much more, I guess, enduring. I'll make it much more enduring than it currently is. So while carrying the staff, copy. While carrying the staff, it creates, so you don't have to activate it, creates a tiny now I think I might reword this a little bit. So we'll go here, go copy, go down, done. Where am I? Let me go down. Okay, we're down. All right, let's put this in. Paste. Now, what's another word for predicting the weather? Is it? I am unsure what I want to call this. Weather doesn't seem like it quite makes sense. While I'm carrying the staff, it creates a small a sensory effect above the above the staff head that predicts what the weather will be at your location for the next 24 hours. The effect might, okay, forget about that. And forget about the rounds. I think all of that can go. 24 hours, no, I want to get rid of the time limit completely. Just walking around with a weather forecaster, I always kind of felt like it was kind of fun. It's a cantrip, so you can keep casting it, so there's no point to putting a restriction on it. Well, you're just going to, you just cast it again right after 24 hours, so it's always, there's no point mucking around with that sort of thing. So I'll take that out, okay. Will be in your location for the next 24 hours. That's not actually limiting the time frame, it just tells you what it's going to be like for the next 24 hours. Okay, so that's fine. Okay, it predicts what the weather will be in your location for the next 24 hours. End of story. I think that's all I wanted there. Small, you can create. It creates a magical illusion. It's harmless. Harmless. It's harmless above the staff head that predicts what the weather will be at your location for the next 24 hours. Okay, so that's that one. And so I need to do another one after this. I didn't want to do anything else out of here, did I? No, I didn't. Moving on. Next one. Druidcraft, Eldritch Blast, we'll leave it alone. Elementalism, I don't know that that's going to make a very good effect for anything. There's too much going on there. Create a breeze strong enough to rip cloth, stir dust, rustle wind, shutter, beckon air, beckon earth, beckon fire, beckon water, sculpt element. You can cause dirt, sand, fire, smoke, mist, or water can fit into 1 foot cube to assume a crude shapes, such as that of a creature for 1 hour. The sculpt element. I like the idea of the sculpt element, actually. That's not bad. It's pretty good. So I might take this and see if I can't do something with that. These other things just create harmless effects, and yeah, this is probably just going to do everything we need it to do. So let's go here and truck this in, bring it down, and then paste. Paste staff of, oops, I'm going to make it common, copy, can I do that? Yep, and then paste. Okay, staff of shape elements, I think that's right. So we'll hold in staff. I think that's an action too. Okay, so we'll use this one here. It's probably the best one. Copy and bring it down. Paste. While holding the staff, you can use an action to cause dirt, sand, fire, smoke, mist, water. Now I want to include a few more things that can fit in a 1 foot cube to assume a crude shape, which is that of a creature for 1 hour. That's all fine. We need to give it a range. I don't want it to get too crazy. I feel like elements are things where it might be a problem if I don't put a range on this. So we definitely need to have a range. So if you can use an action to cause dirt and to assume a group shape for what shape. So within, and our range for this spell is supposedly is it 30 feet? It is within 30 feet. It's pretty small. Am I all right with that? it's not really a combat thing, and it shouldn't be. So yeah, 30 feet's fine. 60 feet wouldn't even matter if I put to 60 feet. 60 feet for 1 hour. I don't even know that it needs to have a time limit, because it's not like you can animate it. Okay, no, crude shape. I can just leave it there. I want it a bit more open, so that people can sort of think about what they want to do with it. I'm also wondering about the materials. So if we think in terms of, air is really mist, right? Earth is your dirt and sand. Dirt, sand, we're not dealing with stones or rock. So that's small pebbles, small stones, fire, smoke is more in the air thing, mist, fog, fire, fog, mist is kind of like fog, isn't it? And then, or water that can fit into one cube within 60 feet. And it's not like you can animate it, you're just creating that shape. Actually, I think that's fine. I don't think that's going to be a problem at all. I'm sure if somebody pulls it apart, they'll let me know in the chat, right? But I think that's all right. It's not even something, I mean, you could use it in combat. I don't think it's got that much use in combat, frankly. But I think it's more like an outside of combat where it's going to become more useful. It'd be interesting to see what people come up with. Okay, so I've done 2. I still haven't figured out what to call the staff that foretells the weather. But anyway, let's go back over to chat and see what we have. In terms of feedback, what have we got here, people? Anything? Oh, here we go. Now we've got some ideas coming through. Wonderful. Good news. People have arrived. Pale Rider, nice to have you. Staff of Nature, all non-magical animals ignore your presence. The animals will not attack, flee, or react in any way if to the party's presence. Didn't we have something like that the other day? I think we created something along the lines of that, didn't we? I'm sure we did. Let me just see. I'm just going to truck this idea across. I'm sure we structured something very, very similar, so I might be able to port a lot of that over. Next, staff of all sight. The user can cycle through different effects, infravision, see the invisible, see the ethereal, see through illusions. That's not really a common magic item, so I'll take the idea, but it's really going to come down to if I ever get time to do it. I don't know that I necessarily will, but yeah, that's definitely level 2 stuff, so we're not looking at very low level stuff there. Quarterstaff with the cat. Oh, here we go. I feel like Fred Huber's here, but no, it's Pale Rider. You're a cat person too, right? Should have guessed. Here we go. So this is the one we'll have to be working on next, I would imagine. There's always something that involves a cat, apparently. Can't we just have cats and dogs? Staff of cats. Oh my gosh. Staff of cats. I want to work on that one next. Next, Staff of Living Essence. While attuned to the staff, so Staff of Cats can be used as a magical weapon with a bonus to hit and damage. It also grants the user the ability to summon, control, and simple communication with small cats. Well, there's an awful lot going on there. There's an awful lot going on there. Okay. Right, so next we've got Staff of Living Essence. While attuned to this staff, it draws life from its user to a maximum of 10 hit points. You can point at any living being to send all 10 hit points to the target. The staff draws one H point from the user every round it is, if it's full. Let's doing healing. So well, yes, there is cure light wounds. So there's a precedence for that. So that certainly could be something we could do. The way you've structured, I'm not too sure. It makes it confusing for me. I think we can simplify that. So I got that down, Joe. Overboard. Next, user every round. You can only send a healing blast of essence when it's full. Oh, okay. You're getting very specific there. Quarterstaff of kite. What? The staff can be turned into a kite? Airbender cartoon. I don't understand what that is. Also counts as a magical weapon in combat. I would put it down, Pale Rider, but I don't know what to do with that. You're talking about Airbender cartoon? Hate to say it, don't really watch it. No, I don't care whether people know if I watch it or not. It's just, honestly, I couldn't care less. Yeah, I don't know that it's something that I have a lot of interest in, that one, but I'm not too sure how you have to do that. That's the problem. Oh, here's my problem. It's gone to white, not black. Okay. Next one. Treehouse staff. What? When the staff is planted in the ground, oh, I like this, and the command word spoken, it will grow into a giant oak tree with a large tree for 8 hours. Can be used every 48 hours. Personal hand glider. Oh, okay. I see. That's not really a kite. That's what does a staff got to do with having a kite or a hand glider? Anyway, this other idea that you've put forward, the tree one. I hate to say it, but I think that needs to come before the cat. My question is, does the creation of a tree and the way you've structured it count as being a common or level 1 spell? There's nothing like it, really. I mean, its usefulness, like how useful will it really be? I'm really unsure about that. But I like the idea a lot. So it's at the top of my list to work on. Hello, Thomas. How are you? Staff of the Lightkeeper. Good Lord. Can we make these names a little shorter? Staff of the Lightkeeper. Allows the wielder to manifest illumination at a range from the staff. Say, I've already got one. We've got Staff of Illumination. It's all sorted. Hello, Wizards and Warp Drives. Also a patron and subscriber. Thanks for being here, Nacho. The staff of the Woodlands already does something extremely similar. Yeah, does it? Staff of Woodlands. Okay, so let me just check that one, because that's a good point. If we've already got something that's doing something similar, I don't want to really duplicate that. Staff of the Woodlands. Here we go. This is the one you were talking about. So I think I have got everything down that I need to grab. It's rare, but some extra spells and abilities. I might strip it a little bit, because we can strip down an existing thing and make it simpler, so it's actually something you can use. And I'm just going to remind people about the power level I'm trying to aim for. This is the power level we're aiming for, okay? And then what we're trying to do. And there's a couple that I'm going to work on, because some of those ideas were really good. So put this in. Let's see if I can strip it down. I think I can. I think I can. So let's strip it down for sure. Bring that across. So the treehouse staff of trees was to be the easiest way to, or just a tree staff. That would be it, the tree staff. All right, so let's go back to this staff we were talking about before. So the staff has 6 charges. Oh, okay. It can be wielded as a magic quarterstaff that grants a +2 bonus to the attack and damage. Well, no wonder it's so high level. While holding it, you can have a +2 bonus to spell attack rolls. Okay. While holding the staff, you can cast one of the following. So I mean, it's what else is it? Tree form. You can take the magic action to plant one end of the staff in the earth, an occupied space, and expend 1 charge to transform the staff into a healthy tree. The tree is 60 feet tall and has 5-foot diameter trunk, and it branches at the top. Okay, it's very specific. The tree appears ordinary but radiates a faint aura of transmutation magic. Yeah, okay, got that. Well, I'm touching the tree, and magic action you can turn to a normal form. Any creature in the tree falls when it reverts to. Okay. So I see what they've done here. There's obviously a couple of things they decided they needed to take into consideration. And that is the size of the tree and how big it is. And I don't really necessarily need to make a 60-foot tree with a 5-foot diameter trunk. But I needed to consider that if I was to make a tree staff. So I don't like the 48 hours. That's not going to work for me. But let's see if we can't take something else into this and make it work. Paste. All right, so let's piece it together. And then copy, bring this across, paste. That's bold. Not while holding, not while carrying. Let's do this. Copy. And ball bearing. That isn't going to work. Let's try it again. Paste. Okay. When you bear the staff, you can use an action to plant staff in the ground and command and with the command words and with a command word have the staff grow into a giant no, I don't want to make a giant oak. A 60-foot oak is unnecessary. Grow into a tree. Large. You've got a tree house as well. I know what you're trying to do here now. This would not be a common magic item. it would definitely not be a magic item. It would be something else. This is probably not a magic item I want to make, now that I'm thinking about it. Not with a treehouse. That's not sort of where my head is at with this at all. But I like the idea of the staff transforming into a tree. Into a large tree. The tree is 30 feet tall. Has a, I don't know about that, 3 foot diameter trunk, and its branches at the top spread out to 10-foot radius. My general feeling is planting the tree and then being able to deactivate it and then take it somewhere else and then plant it again is a bit of a problem. Okay, you can plant stuff in the ground. So dirt. I do not want you growing a tree in the middle of a dungeon. With a command word and forget about this. I think once it becomes a tree, that's it. Which means I don't think it needs to have attunement. You're going to do this once. It doesn't. You don't deactivate it. Once the staff becomes a tree, it's a tree. Taking the tree away? No, I don't think so. Okay, when you bear the staff, you can use an action to plant the staff. Bear the staff. Okay. Which means it can be larger at that point. It really won't matter. You're not deactivating it, you're planting it. That's it. That's way too big, isn't it? 20-foot radius. How do I get 100? I got 100 in there. How do I get 100? 110, 100. Should be 10. It's actually supposed to be 20. Okay. All right, so that's that one, I think. Next, staff of cats. This here being a magical thing, it's not. I'm not doing that. This bit I like. The other bit I don't. So we're going to go hit bold, and for now I'm going to do this. Make that there. Paste this here. Stuff of nature. Okay. So this. Now what is going on here? This is one of those times where I'm sure we've made something before that has managed or controlled cats. I really do. Wand of kittens. You point the kitten. You've got kittens everywhere. So we did one that was kittens. Whimsy. This is the problem. We've made a whole bunch of stuff recently, and Cool, blimey. It's very easy to wind up duplicating something we already had. So far, I don't see anything that suggests that that is what we're doing here. Are we duplicating anything that would be something we've already done? No. So that's that one. But did I have another one? That's a question. Cats. I'm sure we've had something like that. I really do. So I go down, 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 and then, okay, so this is, it's probably a ring, right? It's probably a ring or boots or something like that. So that was wands, this was rings. It says it's rings. Warding, bring of mundane, comprehend languages, skills, English, speak with animals. The wearer of the ring can speak speak to all animals and beasts. So that's really just a ring. Booming voice, catnip. Oh, while wearing this ring, you can attract all cats, and so that's really just attracting you. It's not really controlling cats. Cat control. No, featherfall. Okay, so that's rings. So if I did that one, and then there's another one, I'm sure there is. I'm sure we've got something that's so similar to what we've done before. Is it this one? Well, this is boots, but it doesn't say boots, it says it's rings. Oh dear. Okay, boots. Okay. Go down, down, down. Boots, boots, boots. It can't be boots, surely. Boots, boots, boots of spider climb, haunted boots, haste. No, okay, so that's none of that stuff. That's been done. It's got to be another one. And I tried going down here and then see if I can get this to work. Sorry, people. Magic items. If I just type in there, I should be able to find it, right? So we've got 1, 2, 3. Okay. Magic. There it is. Compendium 1. Useful items: chess pieces, stirring ball, deluminator, book of memories, mistletoe, book of Arctic travel, globe of confusion, umbrella of descent, alarm door, knock, pendant of yes, pen, pot of animal friendship. Okay, so this is something else. Spirity, magic sword, divine rod. There's a lot of these don't look like, feel like they're where they need to be. Anyway, let's keep going. Nothing on cats though. No. So we've made a lot of stuff. Okay, all right. Good to know. Okay, but it's not what I was looking for. So we're back to here, which is over here. So I've got to do the cat thing. My instinct is I do not want this to necessarily be something that you have to activate. I feel like carrying it is enough. So let's go down here. It is so niche. Paste. While carrying the staff, you have the ability to summon, control. I don't know about control. I'm not so keen on the idea of control, because how many cats you could, what, you're going to just summon and control every single cat there is in the world, that's an issue. While carrying the staff, you have the ability to summon, control. I do not know that I like this. Cats do not like being controlled, so I'll take it away. To summon and communicate. Simple and communicate. Simple messages to small cats within 1 mile. That'll do. Communicate. Okay. From the staff, you have the ability to summon and control and communicate simple messages to small cats within. Okay. That's a common magic item. That would work. So I've done the cats. I've done the tree. So we're back to. I'm going to try to work through some of these other ones. Let's go back to chat and see what you guys have got to say. Should be interesting. That was actually quite hard. I didn't realize it was going to be so difficult, but it was. It was definitely difficult to come up with an idea around that. Super hard. Okay. Okay, so now Thomas has got a bunch of stuff here. Whew, talk about me having to write down a lot of stuff. Thinking of making a goblin spellcaster sidekick for my Lost Mine of Fandelvar campaign because the players are struggling with 3 players in Wave Echo Cave. What kind of staff would a goblin wizard have? Oh, okay. That's interesting. Actually, I've been working on the Goblin Mine adventure we started at the beginning of the week, and I made a magic item specifically for that. Would you believe it? I'm just trying to think. Maybe I can port over that into this document now, if I can find it quickly enough. Sorry, people. And that's. The staff is really, really simple. It's not complicated. Where is it? Orc, goblin. No. Here we go. This is it. I'm sure I gave a staff to somebody that did something that's probably just what you're looking for, actually. It's not there. Abandoned wolf, birth chamber, chasm. No, that's not right. Is it area 4 or 5? A magic +1 short sword of the goblin hero is carried by... No, that's not what I was talking about. It's not the den. Shrine. This is water control. Oh, darn it. There's actually, I think there's something in Shadow Dark, mate, that you're after. It's not this. It's not going to be this. It's I think it's a dagger. I think it's a dagger rather than a staff. So that's what I'm getting confused with, probably. So if I can find that, I'll grab it and just read it out to you. That's an interesting problem. Okay, so dagger, Shadow Dark. Let me just get that dagger and read out what Shadow Dark had put for it, because I'm pretty sure it's dagger. Here we are, dagger of the goblin hero. So this is what they have suggested, and you might find this fitting for what you're trying to deal with. Okay, dagger of the goblin hero. It's a curved dagger with a half moon notch at the blade's base. I'm not reproducing this in a document, by the way. Its bonus is a +1 to the dagger, so it's +1 damage and attack. The benefit, though, is you can speak goblin, which of course goblins can, but what it is more importantly, all goblinoid creatures react to you with a friendly attitude. And a leader would really benefit from something like that. I think you'll find that that might be just what you're after. So try that out. See what you think. Okay. Thinking of rat on a stick, are you? Oh, okay, you're going to stick a rat on a... Well, you could do that. Staff of the painter works as a large paintbrush or roller that creates its own paint color to the wielders. I like the Thomas. This is cool. This is a good idea. This is pretty good. Nice. In fact, I probably like that more than the other ideas that have just been placed down. But anyway, let's just see if I can paste. Okay, cool. Got that one in. Let's grab another idea and see if we can get these down. Staff of Charisma. Boosts your Charisma 4 points as long as you're touching it. It's too strong. I mean, I can make a note of it, but it's way too strong to be a common magic item. But I probably won't be working on it today. A boost of that is like 2 feats in 5e, and for any game system, it's pretty powerful. So yeah. What else? Yeah, wouldn't be something I'll work on today. It's better than a +2 bonus, basically. Yes, yeah, exactly. You're throwing things. That's right. See what sticks. You keep throwing things, and yeah, it's not like you haven't thrown some stuff out there, Pale Rider, and I haven't done something with them. I absolutely have. Cursed Staff, Thomas. Staff of the Lame. Well attuned, movement speed reduced by 10 feet, but grants advantage on strength checks to resist forced movement. Very, very specific. You know, I'm tempted to do cursed magic items, but it is so specific. I don't think we could write it that way. It would have to be a bit more general. Otherwise, it's going to be like, when is it going to come up? With the treehouse, it's similar to Tiny Hut, which is a level 3 spell. Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. And I don't want to duplicate Lehman's Tiny Hut. The problem with Lehman's Tiny Hut is it's a no-brainer to take it. Like, if you wouldn't take it, well, what are you doing, right? It's too good a spell. It's easy to rely on it rather a lot. So I'm not fond of duplicating that sort of thing. I also feel like it should be a much higher level feature. I would much prefer something like that to be a class feature for a druid, where they create their own tree that they can like hang out in, have it like a tree house. Cool feature, but above your target for power level. Yeah. So yeah, and even if I was aiming to make a higher level magic item, I wouldn't make it to staff, because again, for me, I want that to be a druid class feature. I know it's not, but I think it should be. And it will be when I run druids in my game. So anyway, Dogwood Staff. All canines, domestic and wild canines, will have a positive reaction to the user. Oh my gosh. All right. Well, I did the cat one. I'm not against doing this one, but I'm probably not going to work on it because it's been done. Let's get real. We've already done the cat one. Barricade Staff. The wielder can command the staff to become a barricade, blocking a passage such as a door or window. It's an interesting idea. How strong or powerful is that? It's not really going to make you good at fighting, is it? But it would allow the group to escape. Yeah. Okay, let's keep going. Some interesting idea. Hello, Derp. Derp is a patron and a subscriber. How's it going? Staff of Reach. The staff extends when swung to allow you to target creatures 15 feet away with a melee strike. It's very simple, isn't it? I actually like that. It's not bad. It's not really doing anything super crazy. And I knew if I started talking about staffs or staves, we're going to wind up getting lots and lots of ideas. Staff of the Volta. Oh my gosh. I just call it the vaulting staff. When you perform a running jump, the wielder's jump height and distance is doubled. That is super simple and easy to do. And we should definitely do it. Definitely do that one. Paste. Some good ideas. All right, let's keep going. What's this? Pale Rider's got divining staff with a commanded word. The staff will point towards the closest fresh water. Okay, it's a divining staff. Yeah, well, that would make sense to have a staff that can do that. So I'm not against that one either. That's actually not bad. We've kind of got something going on like that already in some of the magic items we made. I think it was a rod, a divining rod. I'm sure of it. Vault, barricade, rod, staff. Those are all pretty good ideas. Paste. Okay, what else have we got here? Thomas, how about the staff elongates to a pole vault staff like the acrobat had in the D&D cartoon? It's actually not a bad idea. Staff of anchoring. Staff of anchoring. The staff can be plunged into the ground as hard as stone and is able to support up to 500-pound load. DC strength save should remove the anchor staff if the person is not attuned. No, I just require they can't use it unless they are attuned. The anchor one is not a bad idea either. It's pretty good actually, Thomas. Pale Rider and Thomas. Okay, I want to get to some of these, but I'm just trying to take them down right now. And we're at least an hour in here. Okay. Yeah. Not familiar with the cartoon, but a pole vault, but a pole to vault with would be cool. But let the player exceed their regular movement for the jump, I reckon. Staff of the Farseer. When raised to the eye, the staff functions as a telescope. I think that should be something else. So, being able to see a distance, I would much prefer that to be something else. It's basically spyglass. I know what you're saying. Control shouldn't have been in there. Just communicate so that they can ask them very politely to do something. Yes, very politely. Staff of vicious mocking. Vicious mocking. Do you know, I'm not a fan of vicious mockery as a spell, but I also have another funny thing that goes on in my head with vicious mockery as a spell. And that is, I feel like it should be really only a spell that a bard can use. That's the only person I think should be able to access it. I don't want anybody else to use it other than the bard. The bard is a Frankenstein class, which I am not fond of because it is a Frankenstein. Its identity is not great. And I would never want to make a staff that duplicates vicious mockery. Ever. Just because I feel like, because the bard is having to borrow from so many different spellcasting classes, that I would never want to take away something that at least differentiates it. So that's the only reason why I'm going to ignore that, is that, yeah, okay, Thomas. So don't feel bad about it. It's just, it's one of those things where I feel like vicious mockery, I don't want to piss all over the bard when the bard really needs its own identity in the first place, since it's a Frankenstein. Green thumb staff. Whenever the bearer walks, the soil and foliage are healed of all natural ailments. Oh, that's a good idea. It's pretty clever. There's some really, really simple little ideas that I really like. They really are. Good. Let's just put this in. Am I even going to get time to get to them? The list keeps going. No, I don't. Calrel, how are you doing? I definitely don't want it to be able to control a shambling mound. Not a chance. I think the original idea was probably best. How are you doing, Calrel? How are you doing? Staff of climbing. Why would you have a staff of climbing? Staff can extend and protrude rods for climbing vertically. No, no, it's like having a rope of climbing. Do you know what I mean? A rope of climbing would make more sense than a staff of climbing. So I'm going to leave that one off, Thomas. A ladder staff is probably a better name. I suppose it is, but again, yeah, I don't think I want to make it. I don't want to turn our staff into a ladder. From the goblin sidekicks. Staff of vicious mockery was the idea for the goblin sidekick. I bet it was. I still don't like the idea of making that kind of magic item. Compass staff, basically a compass. No. We can do a compass with something else. It's how to picture a magical goblin fighting. All right. Okay, so what I need is a little bit of help from you in naming some stuff. So I need a name for a staff that predicts the weather. Give me a name for a staff that predicts the weather. What is a good name for a staff that predicts the weather? That would be my question to you guys. You see if you can come up with a good name. I haven't been able to come up with a good name, and I'll start working on some other stuff and get some of these ideas that you've put forward. I think I've got more than enough stuff to work on. It's going to take me a while to get through all of that. So let's try and do this again. Can I just shift over? Where's my tab? There. Oh my gosh, they're all over the place. Okay. Painting staff. Painter's staff. And down. Okay, so we're going to make it paste. Okay, so so while holding the staff, and there's no, I don't want to give it an action. I don't think it needs one. Paste. While holding the staff, you can. Again, transform it into a large paintbrush or roller that creates its own paint colored to the wielder's liking. It's probably not the way I want to communicate it, but we'll see if I can make this easier. Okay, so while holding the staff, you can transform it into a large paintbrush or roller that creates its own paint with a color the wielder selects. Okay, there we go. That's one of the ideas down. So now we have to do the staff of reach. And we just need to put that into there, add in a space, copy, paste. Achievement reach, yes. Do I need to put attunement on this one? I am, yeah, a lot of this attunement stuff may not be necessary. Attunement for this doesn't, I don't feel like this is necessary. I want to take that off. Do I need to do that with anything else? Tree staff, no. Cats, yes. Staff of shape elements, absolutely. The weather forecasting, I will leave that there for now. And then electricity, yes. Acid, yes. Stuff holder. This is the light one. Illumination. Warding. Absolutely. Snake. Attunement, yeah. Blooming. Okay, alright, so I'm not going to worry too much about that. Let's just move on to the next thing. Staff of Reach. So it's really just an extended pole. Which means I then have to determine how much damage it's going to do. And really it is just a staff that's a pole. And that's it. Do I need to do too much with this? This is what I'm concerned about. It's like if I would probably have to stipulate how much damage you're doing with it. 1d6 seems like a reasonable number. Yeah, 1d6. Making the pole longer is really not going to make much difference. Okay, so target creatures 15 feet away. With a melee strike that does 1d6 damage. Okay, so I need to have another way of describing this. While carrying, while bearing, while carrying, no. Use an action, no. Holding. It's really, we're wielding it. We're wielding it like a weapon, so that's the word I'll use. While wielding the staff, it extends when swung to allow you to target creatures 15 feet away with a melee strike. It does what you expect. That's it. Okay, I got it. I think that's narrowed it down. It should fit into any game too, which is nice and simple. So no activation, it just extends. Okay, nice and simple. Volta's staff. And so I just need to go down, and then that should be fine as a common. Oh, darn it, don't do that. Let's try and do that again. Sorry. Copy, paste. Not carrying, or bearing stuff you can use now. Bearing, not bearing, holding, not carrying. And I think it's going to be while holding. That's going to be, you're not really wielding it. Okay. And let's get this here. paste. While performing, oh, that didn't do anything that I wanted. Did I select the thing I wanted and not copy and paste? Okay. Copy. Paste. While holding the staff, you can use an action to... Let's include it all into there. Action to perform a running jump that allows you to double the distance of a to double the height and distance of a jump. Okay. So that's not quite right. There's something else I need to add here that I feel is part of it, and it's more of a descriptor or a narrative. So, while holding the staff, you can use an action to extend the length of the staff to perform a running jump that allows you to extend the length of the staff and perform a running jump that allows you to double the height and distance of a jump. I think that's right. I think I got that sorted out. We've got a couple of others here to deal with. Let's go back to chat, see what you guys have to say, and maybe you've solved the problem of me naming one of these this magic item that I was asking about. I'm hoping you have. It'd be good if you did. All right, let's have a look here. Oh, Fred Huber's arrived. Hello. Nap is over, is it? The weather staff. Meteorologist staff of the storm god, Diana's staff of forecasters. Forecasters staff. That might be weather staff, forecaster. Thomas, forecaster staff might be the way. Staff of lesser druid craft. No. Farmers, Elmac staff. Let's go forecaster staff. I think that's the name we needed to put in there. So, forecaster staff. Forecaster staff. So we'll take that. That is our name. We might actually, this is one time, I usually don't want to go too many words, but we can go weather forecaster staff. There we go. That pretty much narrows it right down to exactly what it is. Okay, so there's another one I need you to name as well. And so I know the chat has got a whole lot of other stuff here, but what I want to do is I want to prompt and ask you another question. I need a name for a staff that lights and extinguishes, lights and I guess snuffs out a light source. Any ideas? All right, going through here. Walking stick. It walks beside you. It's not going to happen. Hello, Fred Huber is a patron and a subscriber, and thanks for being here. Do they still have the old staff from Beckme that turns into a large snake? So I made one, Pale Rider, that turns into a snake. It's called the snake staff. So we've covered it. We've done that one. All right. Staff of meeting summons a group to have useless discussions. Not going to happen. You are in an odd and curious mood today. Oh, hang on. That's always the case. Staff of sweetness. When gnawed upon, this walking cane secretes a sweet juice that aids rest. During your next short rest, you can use one of your hit dice to heal yourself without expending it. Sugar cane. I like the idea until you mentioned the short rest. As soon as you mentioned the short rest, my interest was lost. I hate to say it. It's basically sugar cane. I get it. I get it. I will make a note. But I don't think that I'm necessarily going to be working on that one today. I think it's very, very unlikely. Yeah. Sugar cane. But I like the first bit until we got to there. I would be fine if it restored one hit point every 24 hours. But that would be low level. Paste. When gnawed upon, this walking cane secretes a sweet juice that restores one hit point every 24 hours. I'm not a fan of doing things that do healing with a staff. And yeah, that revolves around a short rest. I'm fine if it's just going to be like cure wounds, level 1 spell, and it operates that way. I feel a little bit differently. The only problem is trying to figure out how to do that so it's not just crazy. Ugly Weirdo, hello. How are you doing, Michael? Staff of bitterness. The staff secretes a mild poison. I feel like there's way too many people who might get some bad ideas from that one. But let's put that in here amongst the other collection of ideas. YouTube is adding the hell out of the stream. So it's set, Pale Rider. It's not me. It's YouTube. I set it so that anybody who's watching my live stream is supposed to get a mid-roll ad after 30 minutes. And so if you're watching for 2 hours, the most you should get is about 3. You might get a 4th one right just at the very end. That's all that should be happening. But YouTube doesn't let that work properly. It's a pain in the butt. So I do apologize, but I can't fix that. If I take out the mid-roll ads, they will simply put the mid-roll ads in wherever the heck they like anyway, and I just don't get paid. That's how they do it. It's annoying. I totally get it. It's frustrating as hell. Staff of sourness. Chew on it, and the staff advantage to next. Granted to your next initiative roll. I don't think so. Staff of illumination control. Lamp lights a staff. What he said. What did he say? What did he said? Staff of light and darkness. The illumination staff. We've already got one called the illuminator. Okay. All right. So we need to have a word that refers to lighting and snuffing out. So I think probably the most yeah. Okay. All right, interesting. All right, so I'm going to think about that a little bit more. I want to work on some more of these ideas that you guys have presented with me, because we're going to run out of time otherwise, and I've only got a little bit of time left. I haven't actually done that many, unfortunately. I think I've only done, how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So I've only done 14. It's not very many, is it? So let's do this barricade staff. Okay, let's do this. Command the staff to become a barricade. Can you command the staff action to become a barricade, blocking a passage such as a door or window, blocking a. I don't want to block too big a space. A 5-foot wide space, such as, if I got this in the right place, yep, such as a passageway, door or window. This is one of those things where you're probably going to get to use it once and then you're done. And I'm fine with that, which means we can do this. It can be common. Doesn't have to require attunement, because you're only going to get to use it once. The wielder can with an action to the wielder can command the staff with an action to become a barricade, blocking a 5-foot wide space such as a passage, door, or window. And that would be the end of that staff. Bye bye. But it's done. That's not right. I think we had a divining rod. Is it over here? It might be. I could swear we've done one before. Divining rod, divining. Pen. Yeah, divining rod. The closest water source. Basically, it's this. So a staff that's doing this, it's a good idea, but I feel like we've already done it. A shaped hazel branch leads the holder directly to the closest source of water. And the idea we've got here is really the same thing. So I don't want to duplicate that. It's too similar. The rod's good enough. Let's go with the anchoring. Do I want to make an anchoring staff? I'm just trying to think about this. Or would it be better as something else? Now that I think about it, I don't think a staff is probably the right thing for this. So I'm going to put this further down, probably out of my thoughts for now. And then paste. Okay, so now if we go up, and we had the green thumb. Whenever the green thumb staff, wherever the bearer walks, the soil and foliage are healed of all natural ailments. It's such a simple idea, and I really like it a lot. And so all I need to do is, even the name itself works for me, so I'm going to put this as in bold, and then we're going to go stuff. And I don't know, do I want to make it attunement? I kind of do, just because I feel like it's the thing that a druid would have, right? paste. And being attuned and being able to just walk around wherever the bearer of the staff walks, the soil. Now we need to do a little bit more here. So it's not going to stop magical stuff happening, but wherever the bearer of the staff walks, the soil, plants, trees, and foliage. Is that covering everything? I'm hoping it is. And foliage are healed of all natural ailments. That's a really cool idea. And it's really simple. That's really, really nice. I love that. That's great. Okay. Now the canine thing. Yeah. Staff of the Lame. While attuned, movement speed reduced by 10 feet grunts. Okay, so Staff of Nature. Staff of Living Essence. I think, didn't we do something? The sugar cane thing could work. So let's take the sugar cane idea. Let's take that one and go cut. Drop that in here. And paste. Okay. So sugar cane. And then cane, bold. Do I want you to be attuned? Yes, I do, because you're dealing healing, and I think that's always a much stronger feature. Paste. Otherwise, you would just hand it around to everybody. You just wind up, everyone, let's have it all have a chew on it. When gnawing upon the staff, upon the cane, this walking stick secretes a sweet juice that restores 1 hit point every 24 hours. End of story. I think that's fine. It's not going to get overused that way. So I did that one, and now where's the other ones that you guys had? There's the poison one, which is tempting to do. The kite, I might leave that alone. I don't really want to turn it into a kite. Staff of All Seeing, it's not common magic item, so I'm probably going to leave it for now. Staff of there are a decent number of staffs, right? Staves and staffs. There's about 3 pages on is it 3 pages on D&D Beyond. I think there's about just under 10 in the Dungeon Master Guide for 5e. If you look at other systems, there's usually maybe 3 or 4. But they're all usually fairly powerful, so this is why I want to focus more on other stuff. Let's see. Okay. Right, I might wind up doing this. I don't know. How much time? I'm out of time. Oh dear. I've got to go to work. All right. So I will add more to this list. I probably will adjust some of the ideas you've already presented and just put them in later. Like that's not an uncommon thing for me to do. And I'll make this one freely available on Patreon if you're a free member. Okay, I think that seems like a reasonable thing to do. The lamplighter stuff, I think you're right about this. I actually think you're right on the mark. I was thinking about that, but I was letting it percolate. This is what happens. Fred is very much aware that often he will present an idea and I will dislike it, and then I will come back and change my mind. So The lamplighter's staff is now a thing. Okay, I can't dispute that it kind of makes, it kind of sings, right? It's the thing. It's the shit. So it is now the lamplighter staff. Don't you worry, it's there. Staff of Light and Darkness. Okay, Dumbledore's thing is called the yeah. We actually just created that as a magic item in a different at a different time. So I don't want to do that again. Down the streets to light and gas. Yes. You have convinced me. Don't worry. Yes, it is done. It is done. I promise. Staff of false tracks. The base of the staff transmutes the ground you walk on, masking your tracks somewhat. We did this with magic boots, actually. Was it last week? We did boots that do kind of something like that, where you can mask your tracks. So I don't want to do that with a staff. But we do already have boots that are like that. So I'm trying really hard not to duplicate too many different things. I'll admit that I just wanted an item to make a pun out of a sugarcane, and force the effect is based on a suit. So can I just say, Thomas, you have to be careful with me. Making a joke with me can actually result in me making something. I'm like that sometimes. Yeah, the green thumb, the druid staff, I feel like it's, change the name, add animals. I don't want to, look, here's the thing with animals. We've already got a magic item that kind of allows you to communicate with animals. I'm not sure that I want to keep creating the same thing over and over again. If I can, this is why I don't pick every single spell that's a cantrip and first level spell and make them all common magic items, and there's a wand and a staff and a boots. I try to pick things that kind of feel like they fit. Do you know what I mean? So do you make homebrew staves from for your tabletop role-playing games? Yes, 82%. Good. Incomplete, 11%. No, 5%. Okay, out of the 17 votes. So I'm going to put my link to Patreon. Give it a couple of days because it takes me time to get this stuff done, and I'll put it up there for free, so you can download what I've done today, and whatever else I decide to add later, because I will probably add a bunch of stuff later as well. Okay, and should be an interesting experience working through all of that. Be highly entertaining. Now, for those of you who don't know, I have a buddy called Wally DM. And me and Wally are going to talk about the Dungeon Master Guide. I said I would not be talking about the Dungeon Master Guide on my channel. So far, I've talked about the Dungeon Master Guide for 2024 on Wizards and Warp Drives, Nacho's channel. And I've also talked about it on, I'm about to talk about it on Wally's channel as well. And that'll be tomorrow. So that live stream should be very long, very detailed, because I've taken even more notes than I did before. So it's going to take a little bit of time to get through, but it will happen. And and I'll have my view, which is not necessarily rational, and then of course the much more refined, something like that. The much less pedantic view of Wally DM. So that could be an interesting discussion for tomorrow. And I need to get out of here since I've got to go to work and do the thing and make a bit of money. Huge thank you to everybody who's been watching today. Thank you to everybody who's been watching, listening, taking part in the poll. Huge thank you to all of my patrons who support me on Patreon. I really do appreciate your feedback and really, your input. It really does help. This is quite a lot of fun, just sitting down and making as much stuff as we possibly can. So I'm going to be back. We're going to do this again. I think it's going to be gloves and gauntlets next week, which will be an interesting sort of experience. I think it will be that. I'm not going to guarantee it, but I think we'll do magic gloves and gauntlets next week. Okay? Huge thank you to those people in chat. So Pale Rider, thank you so much. Fred Huber, Thomas, who provided some great ideas. So did Pale Rider, actually. Cal-Rel, thank you for being here and your feedback. Yes, you guys obviously liked the Lamplighters staff, so it is now a thing. I said Pale Rider, didn't I? Derp was here as well. I believe we also had Ugly Weirdo, correct? Yes, Ugly Weirdo was here. And I could swear, is it Wizards and Warp Drives? That's right, Wizards and Warp Drives was here as well. Thank you for hanging out with us. And we'll be back again very, very shortly, only a few days. But until then, you can come and check out whatever nonsense I'm doing on Wally's channel tomorrow. That'll be interesting. I will try to be a sensible person. I really will. So wherever you are in the world, whether it be the morning, the afternoon, or the night, please look after yourself, your family, and your friends. Be nice to your neighbours. And hey, till next time, keep rolling those 20s. Hello, Rocky McCobb. I'd like to see the old Dungeon Master Guide examined. I have already done that. The random harlots table. Probably not a good idea, Rocky.